Hello y'all on YouTube, this is Rob with Rob's Nerdy Knives. I'm here doing an unboxing, something really amazing, something cool, something coming in from Poikilo. We're gonna take a look at this and talk about this. This is pretty epic. This will be probably a several part series because of what we're looking at and how much we're looking at it. All right, today I'm opening this box. This is from Poikilo Blades. They won Blade Show West and Blade Show Texas Best Factory Folder. Just phenomenal, and some other awards too. Just really, really amazing stuff. They are a couple of guys. Poikilo comes from the Greek word, which means diverse, like very broad, you know, experience and all that good stuff together. It's a really good possible word. It means that you have skills in a whole bunch of different things. And the two gentlemen that I spoke to, or at least the one gentleman I've been talking to, it might be both of them because I emailed them and then I also messaged them on Instagram because when we were at Blade Show, let me grab my knife here real quick. When we were at Blade Show, one of the fellow YouTube reviewers, he showed me his little gecko, a Poikilo gecko, and I said, I got to get one of these. And so I was hunting down, I said, hey, where are these available? And so I found out EDC Lifestyle had one that they were going to drop. They got from Blade Show, Texas. And I was like, because I walked by their booth like several times. I felt like an idiot because my biggest regret of Blade Show, Texas was not meeting these guys. So, and I walked by their booth quite a few times, which, yeah, frustrating. And I think that almost happens to me at almost every Blade Show. There's somebody I really regret I didn't get to meet. And these are the ones. So I bugged them. I bugged them because I love their design. I thought they were coming out with some fantastic stuff. And I just asked about it. So I had ended up getting the gecko, and then I got a Taro. And I love that thing. And I thought, man, this is great. These are really two fantastic knives. Really enjoy these. And I dropped my reviews and stuff, and they kind of reached out back to me. We just started talking. And my videos, my shorts have done really well because you guys, you love high quality, nice production knives. And that's what these are. They're their own OEM. All right, so they're their own OEM. That's why they do this high-end stuff. I would consider everything I've handled, they would be up with Riot. And I might even say this, maybe a step past Riot. So don't be insulted by any of that. Some people would disagree, and that's fine. But their quality is outstanding. So needless to say, I started opening this box already. And unfortunately, the video cut out. I don't know why it cut out, but it did. And I had to restart this. So I'm restarting this here, and it's probably for the best because there were 15 knives inside this box. And I opened it up, and they were all in these typical little gecko, not gecko, but Poikilo cases like this right here. This is what they come in with a little cloth. Usually you get like a little cloth like this right here, and they're wrapped in that, right? So I had 15 of these, and I wanted to kind of go through one of them, but they were all mixed up, so I wanted to do it justice. So I figured what I will do is I'm going to put them all out here. We're going to talk about them all, and then we're going to experience each one of them as a separate part series, okay? And then we'll do a review comparing them all together. I'll even compare a couple of that are in here that are different variations of the ones I have with what I bought. So we will do that, all right? So let's get into this. Let's look at these Poikilo knives. I'm super excited. All right, so what we have here in front of us are 15 knives from Poikilo. And we're gonna start off with, there's gonna be four new ones, and I have 2 of each, so there's 8 of them that are gonna be new. The gecko, which you already know, I have a gecko, and we have 2 variants here of the one I have. I think one of them is exactly like mine, but that's okay. We get to see a different version. And then we're gonna see 2 armadillos. And then we're going to take a look at the 2 Zens. This is the one that won Blade Show Texas knife. I did not get to handle it, but I am so excited to get to handle it. So we have 2 versions of that. Here's the mini tuna. All right, so there's a regular tuna. I don't have it here, but the tuna is a bigger version, and it's only a front flipper, but we're going to have 2 mini tunas. That's new as well. And then we're going to have 2 of the armadillos, which is this one over here. 2 of this right here, the armadillo, which I think is really outstanding. So we're going to take a look at this guy as well. Very much a Persian, clip point, Bowie, whatever you want to call it, but we'll look at that. This is the Taro, the one I already have. We have, let's talk about this. We also have the large prism and the large prism, the small prism right here. Then we have the Salvador, the Marlin, and the Komodo. And I believe the Komodo is, let me see here. So we've got the tactical is this one right here. So that's the tactical. So we have that, right? That's he did include one tactical. I'm assuming that's a tactical because that looks like a tactical. Maybe it's not a tactical. Is that not a tactical? Hold on. That looks like a tactical. Is it not a tactical? Oh, it's a Marlin. This is the Marlin. Sorry, it's a tactical series. It's the Marlin. I'm still learning this, guys. Just bear with me. They're so new. So many people haven't even heard of this. And most people, after they get hands on, they're like, what? What is this? This is amazing. And I'm telling you, this is why we're gonna dive into a bunch of these. There's so much more. They have stuff they've already released that's amazing. The one that I didn't get to see here is the Orca. That one, Blade Show West, Best Factory Folder. That's another fantastic knife. Love to get a hands on that one because I want to see if I can flip it. That's one I'm very interested in as well. So that one is the Marlin. Then we have this guy right here. This is the Rhino, and this is a mid-tech. You can see that with the, and also look at the blade. So we're gonna, take a look at these because these were display models that they've taken to blade shows. They've been at different various things. So some of these aren't going to be perfect. People handled them, right? People have used them, handled them. These are not brand new out of the box. These were handled at blade show. So we're getting kind of like a blade show experience here. I'm kind of passing that along to you guys so you can kind of get a feel for these, okay? And I think it's really, really stinking cool. So we got the Marlin, we've got the Rhino, right? Got the Marlins. Wait, are these the Prisms? These are the two Prisms. We've got the Marlin up there, and then we have this big boy over here, which is really cool. It's a mid-tech, and it's really probably the fanciest one of all of them on the table. This is, come on, don't fail me now. Yes, this is the Komodo. This is the Komodo. All right, so kind of breakdown. We got a Komodo. I'm going to try to memorize these guys because these are brand new experiences for me, okay? So we're going to learn this together. We've got the Komodo, Komodo. We've got the Marlin. We've got the Prism. This is the large Prism right here and the small Prism. They're different. There's some differences there. That's definitely worth pointing out. Then we have this very, very cool Rhino. Then we have, what is this guy here? Oh, this is another nice one. This is, what is this guy? This guy is the, oh yeah, this is the Salvatore. This is the Salvatore. Then we have the Taro, the two mini tunas like we already talked about, the Zens, the Geckos, and the Armadillo. Okay, so I'm going to try to keep that organized. It's a lot on the table, but we're going to go through them one by one and talk about them. I may cover like the Gecko and the Taro with the first video because I own those and I want to compare to what I have, okay? So with that being said, we'll come back to each one of these. All right, we'll come back to each one of these and talk about them here in a little bit. All right, so just give me a second to move these off. So I definitely want to talk about the Zen because that's the one that was kind of super amazing, right? All right, so here we have, these are their knives. And I'm not going to leave it here because I don't want to confuse it. This is mine. Okay, now I've already put skiffs in there. I changed the tune a little bit. It's been broken in, so it's definitely a little different. This one's more of a display, so it hasn't probably been as tuned as well. And you can definitely see it's been handled a lot. These guys have been loved at blade shows because people have really wanted to check them out. And let me get my Taro because you definitely want to see that. All right, so where's my Taro? And this is a good kind of a comparison. So here's my Taro. So there's no need for me to leave this one, mine out of this one because this is essentially very much similar. Mine might be a little less handled, a little less loved, a little less banged up, right? So you've got these two. And then we have the Oh, this is the mid-tech. Oh, okay, yeah. And then this is the non-mid-tech, non-mid-tech. You get to see the difference. All right, so there are mid-tech versions of this. There are blacked out versions. So what you see over here, like in this armadillo, you see this kind of texture on here. It's kind of like an acid wash, stone washed. They have a version of that in the gecko, okay? Gecko is a cool little knife. We'll do reviews on these guys here, right? We're going to handle these. We're just going to experience them first. We've already experienced this one. You know this one. This is a great knife. But I just want to show you the difference. Hollow grind, beautiful swedge on top. You have a different pattern. So if you didn't like the holes, you can do the round holes. They have a plain one where you don't have the holes at all. I saw pictures of that. I don't know, their availability, but they had those as well. And of course, mid-tech versions of this. So that's very cool. So that's the gecko, which I think this is what started it all for me, was the gecko, these guys right here. I like this. Now, the one I saw, the very first gecko that I saw, was sort of like this. It was all acid washed, stone washed, whatever you want to call it. And that's the one I saw post-Blaze show when we went to dinner. And I thought that was really cool. So the gecko we've already talked about. You can check my video for that. I have a video. I already did an unboxing this. It's just a functional. You can choke up really good in hand, super contoured. I mean, it is contoured and yet beautifully chamfered with all this incredible texture and milling. Satin finished on here. And so just a really nice little compact. It's small, but as you can see with my big hand, with big meaty fingers, I got plenty of room for a large hand. It's kind of got that feel that's similar to, like a pair of 3 or something like that. Now, this is my Taro, and I love this thing. I put skiffs in there, and I have it tuned, as you can see, nice and broken in. You'll see that it'll close really soft. You see that? Really nice and soft closing here. Let's do that again. Once it warms up, it gets in the pocket a little bit, and I get to carry it quite a bit. It's all warmed up. Now, notice, this is kind of a bead blasted, but it's a high-polished bead blast. It's really nice. I think it's kind of high-end looking. Beautiful milling on here, beautifully contoured. Sorry, a little piece of my jeans, because I carry these, my knife, and it's got this black back spacer. So still absolutely premium. Love this thing. You saw my unboxing for this. I'm going to put that over with my knife. But here we have a mid-tech version. So now you have hand satin finished blade. You have an angle here. You have an angle this way. You have an angle that way. We also have this beautiful, looks like Damascus kind of backspacer. I love the lines. This is a very blocky kind of looking version. Yeah, and it's definitely all the way through, front and back, right? And then we have a traditional Damascus with the multiple mix in there. This looks like it was layered in there together. Kind of reminds you of bacon Damascus, like you'd see on Vero Engineering or something Chad Nichols would do, right? So this is kind of along that lines, and I love the 3 colors. It looks like you got some zirconium and some different layers of titanium in there to create the different anodizations, which I think is stunning. Now, I forget if is the clip, I don't know if it's zirconium. The collars might be zirconium. I'm not sure. I'll have to look that up, because again, this is a display model. You can see it's scratched. It's been handled. Now, it doesn't have the texturing on here, but still the beautiful milling. Still very comfortable. And let's check that lockout. And oh yeah, just look at that. Beautiful drop. Now, it's going to have a already beautiful action, because it's a little more polished. That's the nice thing what you get on here. And let's see here. The reverse flick is really nice. Love this reverse Tonto, very long pointy blade. Typically, this is not my cup of tea, but man, people have been getting me to check out custom makers like Hypercut. I've borrowed some knives from those guys, and this is kind of cool. I'm digging this. Okay, I am digging this. I will be straight up honest with you. I think it's cool. This mid-tech is really stinking cool. Yeah, so if you were looking at this and you thought, this is a cool knife, Rob, it's kind of boring. I wish it had a little more spice to it. Even though the black, I think it's gorgeous, purple pivot. I mean, milling, I don't know. It's got a nice acoustic too on this one here. But if that's not enough for you, you feel like you need a little more, check out their mid-tech stuff. Okay, so we're gonna handle this. I can already tell you, my experience already with the action here is just phenomenal with that hand satin finished blade. That is beautiful, highly polished. Love this stuff over here. Again, the jimping is very functional. You got a nice grip, plenty of room for my big old meaty hands with big meaty fingers, right? Which is really nice. The fuller thumb hole works really nice for a reverse flick. The front flipper works really nice, right? You got all that going on there. beautifully dead nut centered, man. As much as these have been handled at the blade shows, I mean, come on. These knives are holding up well. I mean, this is like someone who's had probably a full year of hard use on them getting through blade shows like this. Very, very, very nice. And I say that, I say that I'm sure they took really good care of them. Don't get me wrong. I don't think anybody abused them. But they're scratches. They're scratches probably because they dinged into the other knives, you know, on the table and stuff like that. And I'm really wanting to not add any of my dings here. That's why I'm being very careful. But yeah, so you have this on the Taro. So I think, you know, between the two, I can tell you, I would prefer the milling. I like that a lot, but I love this high polish scale, right? I mean, this high polish blade. I think that's nice. I dig this sort of bacon type of Damascus. I think it's kind of cool. It looks like it's got a little, maybe zirconium in there and some different layers of Damascus or whatever you have in there. So titanium, I think that's really cool. And I love this inset liner lock. It just works really nice. And the action's great. And it's not a small knife. You feel you got something good you can present in your hand. So it's just a nice substantive knife. If you don't want a super small knife, this is definitely something worth checking out. But at the same time, if you got large hands like me and you don't have really, really long fingers, this works really nice in my hand. So wanted to point out that with the Taro, I was just really excited to get to check out a mid-tech because I have loved my regular, and it's not boring. Don't get me wrong, it's still very nice. I mean, we're talking $400, right? But this, we're looking at $550, $600, I don't know what it is, somewhere around there. I'm guessing it's a little bit more. I don't have their price breakdown, but I'll have to look and see if I can find it. Is there a mid-tech? $570. So $570 for their mid-tech version. Well, that's one site that I went to. I don't know what their site is. Let's see. What do they have a site? Let's see here. Come on. Poikilo. I think they have their. Nope. That's PVK. Oh no, that is Poikilo site. So there's this 570. What? Yeah, well, I don't have all them. We'll do that more in the review, right? I'll have more of those details. But first impression, I like the mid-tech. I think it's really stinking cool. Very, very nice. I think it's worth enough for us. You already saw the reviews on all the other geckos, so I don't feel like I have to zoom in. You saw the original Taro on my other unboxing, not review, but my unboxings. So let's zoom in on this mid-tech. This is just nice enough to take a look. So some of you guys who've been on the fence, you thought, well, is that mid-tech really worth it? It has some touches, and I think it's truly a mid-tech. This really does fall into a Chinese mid-tech. There's a lot of touches. The belt hand satin finish there. Got this beautiful, I'm assuming it's black anodized, or is it, hold on. Is this possibly? No. It's not zirconium handles, is it? Is it? Oh no, it's DLC. All right, DLC handles. Wait, this is all blacked out though. Now I don't know. Oh my, now I don't know. Okay, so the one that's on their site has the purple pivot, and I'm not exactly sure. I'm assuming it's the same. I'm assuming maybe it's just a different color, right? 570. Maybe it's just DLC coated scales, which I think is really nice. And we're gonna see in some future parts their DLC on their blades. Oh, it's nice. It's nice. All right. So I think that's really nice. Inset liner lock, still pretty much the same. Good engagement, no blade play. I love over here, the nice polished M398 blade steel, beautiful switch. Again, that hand satin. The Damascus clip is really nice. Very functional clip. It does have flexibility, so it does work right. And you could see that kind of a bacon, I don't know what you want to call it, checkered Damascus. It looks like bacon. I love the layers to get that, because that's not painted on there. That's anodized on there. And you have to have different materials to create that, right? So, and they do that with bacon Damascus, Chad Nicholas bacon Damascus, which is, the lines are ridiculously straight. I don't know how they do it. It's kind of voodoo magic, right? So got the jimping as well, but just this DLC is really nice. And I can tell you, there's not, it's, maybe I wipe it down, I don't see any scratches. The DLC looks like it held up really, really well compared to some of the other knives. The DLC held up really, really well. Yeah, for sure. Sure, okay. All right, so that is, let me zoom out here. So just for this first one, I'm gonna highlight this guy. Actually, I wanna highlight it with the beautiful Here, let's see if we can highlight that backspace so you can see right there. I want to just kind of bring that into play so I can show both of those. Can we do that? Can we get enough light on there? I just want to, for my little thumbnail, so you guys can see it, because I think it's worth checking out. It's just really, it's stunning. It's really stunning. I think I like it. I like it a lot. So yeah, very, very cool. Very cool. All right, so that's the gecko. That's the taro. All right, so we'll go ahead and let's introduce one more. We'll introduce one more with this batch here, okay? So the next one I wanted to kind of talk about was the one that won Blade Show Best Factory Folder in Blade Show, Texas. And this is the Zen right here. You don't see him on the website yet. You will if you look up Blade Show Texas 2025 Awards and you look for Best Factory Folder. This is the one you'll find. This is the Zen. It won in so many ways. Now, some of you guys are not going to like it because there's one thumb stud, and that's going to bother you. And, you know, fair enough, right? But in so many ways, it's so comfortable. It's such a beautiful flat grind, just really kind of works. You know what this reminds me of? Let me show you my quiet carry, which I think is one of my favorite knives for 2025 still. If I can pick up the right knife. Come on. Here we go. So my catch, it's got that kind of, I don't know, Nessie kind of reverse Tonto modified. It's got that big belly kind of blade, which to me is just kind of a cool, very functional blade shape. And Quiet Carry does just an outstanding job too. They're up there. I think it's quality with Poikilo for sure. But I love this. Now they did this. I spoke to the guys who helped design this. Really, really neat guys. I think that's really cool. But is that brass? That's probably a brass like screw in there. And then it's blue anodized. And then you got the Poikilo, the 4 dots, which is interesting because Quiet Carry is the 3 dots, right? And they have the 4 dots. You'll see that on my, was it over here? I thought I saw 4 dots. Oh, yeah, 4 dots. Well, there's 3 dots here. 4 dots in that one. And multiple dots. Well, so maybe it's not. It's just dots. They just do dots. It's not consistent, which is fine. Beautiful cutaway, easy access, steel bar insert, over travel stop to drop that. And you'd have that beautiful finger choil, so you're not going to guillotine on your finger. I think that's really nice. Now, can you reverse flick? No. But can I reverse flick with my left hand? Let me see. Now, I'm sure I'd get to it. It's a little stiff right now. This is not my knife. I would tune this to see if I get there. And I'd also like to see, can you, no, there's no gripping. You can't front flip it. So it's single deployment. And some people love single deployment, and you'd be okay with that. Kershaw. Sorry, my dog. Single deployment is really nice. I mean, for some people, and for others, it's not. But I mean, everything else about the blade shape is just outstanding. I can see why it won. It just fits and melds into your hand. It really does. I do like multiple deployments. That is my personal experience. All right, so this is going to be, is this DLC, this guy? I don't know. Let me see. Do we have a page on the Zen anywhere? Let's see here. I got to look it up. Sorry, guys, because not a lot of people are carrying the Zen yet. It's like, if you got it, they probably got it from Blade Show and bought it there when they had extras or something, or just bought them, the inventory they had before they sold out. So I only see, that's a plain, that's an S1 Zen. I'm assuming this is an S2 Zen. Is that what he called it? A Zen. No, it doesn't say if it's S1 or S2, but I don't see Timascus. It's purple, so I'm going to assume this is like an S2 Zen. So let me see if I can find an S2 Zen. That's what I'm going to guess, because that's kind of the naming convention I've kind of discovered. I could be wrong, but there we go. Okay, there's an S2. Looks like EDC Lifestyle had one. All right. Oh, it's DLC. Yes. Okay, so this is a little more expensive. $400 for this one, $470 for this. At least that's where it is in one retailer. I can't guarantee you what that price is. Remember, everything's subject to change because prices are changing. We got tariffs, we got materials, everything. So this is, as of right now, when I'm looking on the website, EDC Lifestyle had this one for $470. It is DLC titanium folder and DLC pearlescent finish. So it's not a high polished finish, but it is pretty darn close. Let me wipe that down so you can see it. need to get another cloth that's a little cleaner. All right, there we go. Look at that. All right, so that's beautiful. And then you can see the pearlescence, which you've already seen this with mine, but it does pop out a little bit. Look at that. Beautiful, pops out. I like that. I like that. Single pivot. Let's see, is the action? Sometimes DLC tends to have a little better action too, at least in my experience. Oh yeah, it's nice. It is nice. No, you don't have any jimping. Nothing for you for front flip. This is a single flip only. Is there enough for a bonus flick? Well, let's see. Oh, yeah, there's bonus flick. Okay, hold on. Can I do bonus flick reverse if I put the clip? Yes. Okay, so what we have is we have enough of a high grind, flat grind, that I can get in there, kind of like what I do with my Trevor burgers. I can get my finger in there, and then I can do a reverse flick. So I have very successful, very easy middle finger reverse flick. So that's nice. That does give me bonus flicks. So this doesn't become like a, you know, a single thumb stud, that's it, only kind of knife. So that's nice. That's nice. Let's do this one. Yep, definitely works on that one. Now I will tell you, I'm not a big fan of this thumb stud. It's very uncomfortable for me. I don't care for that. I wish there was a little more ridges. It's a little sharp on the top. It does hit me, at least with my big old giant meaty fingers. If you got skinnier, thinner fingers, it might work a little bit better. But I can tell you, for big meaty fingers like myself, I would consider looking into seeing if I could get I could replace the thumb stud. I would try to get another one. That's just what I would do if this was my knife, right? So I already have two, and they're not cheap, so I'm not going to be getting a whole bunch right away. But this is a cool way for me to check them out, right? To be able to say this. So this was best factory folder at Blade Show, Texas. This is the DLC version. It is really cool. And I love the fact middle finger reverse flick is just solid. And in the hand, it is solid. It's just nice and grippy. If you look at the cutting angle, if we follow that, technically, we're okay. You can choke up all the way up to here. Plenty of room for extra large, double extra large hands. So that is nice. Okay, so very cool. I like this one. So let me zoom in on this guy here. I want to zoom in on these two. Okay, so let's just kind of zoom here. So here we have that pearlescent finish, not DLC. Here we have the DLC pearlescent finished. Okay, DLC is nice. It'll prevent scratches if it's, you know, the true DLC, which is like it can harden the surface to be more scratch resistant, which is nice. And that it also works on the titanium as well, similarly, right? So then you have this DLC coating over here, and you got the purple on this one, you got the blue on that one, which I actually, on my two, it's interesting, right? I have blue and purple as well, so I kind of got it mixed up a little bit like that. I like that, the scales. Now let's look at the light. It is a frame lock, but it's a very thin frame lock. So notice that, which is nice, which means you're not going to, big old meaty fingers like me, I'm not going to stick it right on there. We are engaged, I want to say, at probably good 25–30%, right? And it looks like it's pretty consistent between the two. Yep. Nice clip. Does look like it's going to go in and out. It's got a nice ramp. This reminds me of a Utzler clip, almost like Utzler custom knives. They have this really long, kind of broad clip, and it does go in and out of the pocket. It's very comfortable, nice and round, which is really good. Away from the cutaway, but this is not sharp. This is not sharp at all. See that? Not sharp at all here, and this is definitely away from there. So I think that's a positive. I think that's really nice. So, you know, you have that. What else? Let's go ahead and bring it around here so you guys can see this. Let's keep them both the same angle. It's weird doing two at a time. Normally I only do one, guy, so this is a little different. All right, so I'm gonna note, you can see that there's a nice cutaway. Let me zoom in on that. You see that cutaway right there? Easy access to release, and then it does have nice action. There's not even skiffs in this guy, and look at this. It's already pretty smooth. I mean, like I said, when I put skiffs in my other one, I felt like they were pretty good OEM skiffs. They really were. They really were. You don't have to replace them. I just do it because I like to have a little touch of custom in there. So again, that nice cutaway I think is really nice. All right, so that's very cool. Let's look at the backspacer. I think that's really cool too. Almost full backspacer. Love the design. It's unique. It kind of stands up a little bit. It kind of pops up at the top. You've got a place for a lanyard. You can get in there, but it's not prioritized. Definitely a deep pocket carry, as you can see that. It's going to go in probably about that deep, so it's not fully hidden, but not sticking out like crazy. I love that. A lot of weight relief if you didn't see that in there. A lot of weight relief on that. So let me go back over here on this one. You can probably see a little better the weight relief on there. Really done well. And what they do here is they have this screw right here. You see that? That screw releases this back spacer, and then this, so you have one pivot screw, that's it, but this is the screw that disassembles it. It's like that on my Gecko, and it's like that on the Zen. Now, the Taro has two screws, this one, and that's it. So that's the two screws to release everything. But on here, it's like one screw that you see, and then one in there. I think that's pretty stinking cool. All right, so we look at the top. We don't really have jimping. It's more, you know, for looks. So, you know, it is what it is. You can still put your finger on there. I mean, this to me is not like, you're not going to be out there doing crazy stuff. You could. I think it definitely could be a very well used knife for sure. So definitely could do that. So let me zoom back out. All right, so I think they're I mean, a pretty cool couple of knives. I love the shapes. I love, everything's nice and round. There's no sharp spots anywhere. Even right here, trying to feel, is there any little hot spots anywhere? I'm not finding it. I'm not finding it anywhere. Even here has been nicely chamfered. That's important. I noted that over here on this one. I noticed all the like little spots here. Everything was just really well taken care of. There's no sharp spots. I did that on the over here as well as on the Taro. There's no sharp spots in there. It's all taken care of. To me, that's important. I don't know if these are production knives or these are production prototypes, or they're prototypes or production samples. Either way, they're still solid, absolutely solid. I love this Zen. I think that's really cool. And ironically, if this is one of the Zens that they brought to Blade Show Texas, one of these could have been the one that actually won it for them. So maybe this was the one that was officially judged, or this one, I don't know. But very, very, very cool. And I got to get these back to him before Blade Show Atlanta for sure. So we're going to try to get through all of these pretty quick. All right, so that is the Zen. I believe, let's see here, does it say who's the co-designer, there was somebody who helped design that with them. Oh, I don't know if I can find that. It was on, I wish this is where I could find stuff like that. So let's see, is there another place where it talks about the Zen? Let's see here. I'm looking at Pencheca, EDC Lifestyle, so there's a whole bunch of different things. Blade Show, Texas 2025, yep. Let's see here. Who? Andy. Okay, so it's Andy Wong. Maybe it was Andy I was talking to. Probably was Andy, I'm guessing. I don't know. Let's see here. Oops. Oh, it's not telling me who the co-designer is. I know they worked with someone that was a really cool co-designer. And I'm sorry, I wish I had that for you. But a really, really cool guy. I did talk to him a little bit. And he was one of the people that actually helped come up with the design when we were chatting. I'm trying to stall to see if I can find him. All right. I can't really find who it is, but again, there was if I remember and I find it, I'm going to try to post it up here. I'll have cut some of this, you know, dead time out in case you don't see it. But I think the Zen's really cool. We're going to stop with this part one here. So we looked at the Gecko, which we already know, and we saw some variations. We looked at the Taro. You saw my basic version, and then you saw this DLC version with this beautifully polished hand satin finished blade and Damascus clip, and then that layered, almost bacon-like Damascus back spacer. And then you have the two Zens here, which was the one that did win Blade Best Factory Folder and Blade Show West. I thought that was really, really outstanding. All right, so that is the Zens. All right, so let's, yeah. Hey, if you found this content fun, interesting, worthwhile, or informative, would you please consider hitting the like button? If you've already hit that like button, maybe consider also hitting the subscribe button down below. Subscribing and liking the channel really helps me out and allows me to produce more content, do more things, ultimately do more things for you guys. So thank you to everyone out there who watches the videos, who enjoys the content. It's part of the channel. Appreciate you guys. If you haven't already, maybe hit that notification as well so you can be notified of future content like this and other videos. And a big shout out to my channel members. You do two amazing things for me. You encourage me. I don't do this full time, so thank you. You're like my workout buddy. And secondly, because of your generous support, you allow me to check out things way sooner than I ever thought I would be able to do. For instance, borrowing these knives from Poikilo. I'm going to ship this back. It's going to be probably the most expensive shipment I'll ever make, shipping these back, because these are not cheap. So, you know, that is a huge help. So thank you to you guys. Because of that, I do two exclusive things for channel members. One, I do once a month members exclusive giveaway. Make sure it's something nicer than the budget banger. You guys actually help me be able to do the budget banger for everybody. But above that, every month I try to do just an exclusive members only giveaway between $100 and $300. Something nice that hopefully you want to win or you want to give away. And two, I also give brand new channel members a sticker and a little thank you note. So if you became a brand new channel member recently, email me with your name and address. I'd love to mail you a channel sticker and a little thank you note. Of course, that applies to anybody who's actively currently a member and has never gotten a channel sticker, never asked for a sticker. You are all eligible for a channel sticker. Yeah, so that's my way to say thank you. If that sounds interesting, check out my description down below. I have a link for 3 different tiers. I'd love to have you. Don't ever feel obligated. Do it if you want to. Seriously, don't feel obligated. But if you do, I'm very grateful. Thank you. If you haven't already, check me out on Instagram at robs_nerdy_knives. Again, that's on Instagram at robs_nerdy_knives. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great day and a great week. Bye.